This is what's pissing me off today. I'm Bob Pritchard. Well, as you heard in our news this morning, Algoma Steel up in Sault Ste. Marie is laying off about 1,000 people effective early next year. 1,000 people is about 40% of the employees that work for the company. Now, these things happen, and Algoma says it's a problem with the tariffs and the Donald and all the rest of it, but it doesn't change a couple of pretty basic facts. First of all, they've received $500 million in loan guarantees, 400 from the feds and another 100 mil from Dougie. Bottom line on it all is that's a lot of money. You almost think that business out there has this idea that if they can tap into government money, well, it's a bottomless pit, and there may not be all that many results coming out of it. Now, I don't want to suggest that the government is throwing away its money here or has lost its investment, but the reality of it is there's 1,000 people who are going to be pounding the pavement next year trying to find some way of looking after their families after the government puts some big dollars into that organization. Again, what Algoma is saying is they're going to be upgrading the steel production, so they'll be going to electric furnaces, which overall should save them a fair amount of money. Again, I have to ask, does this guarantee that Algoma will be there in 2 or 3 or 4 years? And I don't think so. And if you look at some other projects the government gets involved in, you also have to wonder if it's just a gigantic game. Like the Eglinton Crosstown LRT. I mean, this thing is like years and years and years behind in terms of managing to get online, and we're still waiting for it to get online. Again, somebody somewhere is getting a lot more money than they initially budgeted. So what happened, and how come these things keep happening to the various levels of government? You would think that maybe stupidity was woven into the infrastructure just to make life more interesting for those of us who get stuck with the bill, when it comes time to shell out the cash to pay for things. Oh yeah, that would be all of us, known as taxpayers. And that's what's pissing me off today. I'm Bob Pritchard.